Hey everyone, it's Raziel here, back at you with a Smite God build for Xbox One or consoles in general. Um, and this week we're bringing to you Scylla, the Horror of the Sea, the mage or the next mage in my series here of God build guides for the console Smite players. Um, she is primarily considered a late game god, and I will go into that in a little bit. Um, but the purpose of this video is to give new players, or players who haven't played Scylla uh, in a while, just a refresher or an introductory course. We will go over her kit, we'll go over the relics she should choose, and the items to build for her, mostly for conquest, but could be carried into most game modes, save for assault, because that's just you throw that out the window. Excuse me. And then we'll go over combos and or fighting scenarios that will occur during the games. I'm recently coming off, I think, a quasi cold. It's the middle or the beginning of summer, so I don't know if it was allergies or whatever, but if I cough or anything throughout this video, I apologize in advance. All this for patch 3.10, which recently came out this week for consoles, which things may change down the line. So some of these items may not be as pertinent as they are now. But before we continue, let's get some housekeeping things in order, which I will be going over every video. So hopefully you've watched a video before this one and understand what I'm about to say. The abilities, or the kit as I'm going to be calling them, is going to be labeled differently depending on what button layout you currently use. I use Savage on Xbox One. If you use a standard on Xbox One, or if you have PS4, or if you're on the PC, which has a different UI altogether, you're going to have different buttons for your kit. That being said, from now on I'm going to call them 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 1 being the first ability furthest to the left, and the 4 being the ultimate all the way to the right. So, from now on, when I call out 1, 2, 3, and 4, that is the order that they are down below. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's go over her kit. Let's do this. It is called Quick Learner. Her passive ability is each of Scylla's abilities gains an additional effect at max rank. That's pretty cool. So it has its original ability, and then an additional one once you get it to rank 5. In addition to that, Scylla gains 20 magical power for each ability at max rank. Okay, this is one of the reasons why she's considered a late game god. Why? Because if she has all 4 abilities, I don't know why I'm using my pen as a prop this time. If she has all 4 abilities, max ranked, which you will at level 20, which is late game, she gains an additional 80% magical, or not 80%, 80 magical power. That's better than most items. Straight up. Better than most items. 80 magical power. Just for ranking up your your god in her abilities. That's pretty good. Probably the main reason why she's considered a late game god. Because of that. She gains an additional item, essentially, at level 20. Oh, actually, any max rank, she gains an additional item, essentially. Alright, so her first ability, her 1, is called Sikkim. It goes in a line, and she sends out 2 hounds, which you'll see periodically in her idle animation here. She has hounds underneath her dress. It's freaky to see. Damaging, enrooting, and crippling, 3 things, the first enemy it hits, whether that's a minion or a god. At max rank, 2 additional enemies nearby will also be hit. See, there's a dog right there. Damaged, root, and crippled. So you've got a team fight going on, and you hit, for max rank, you hit the first god right there, say the support, who has rotated over for whatever reason. And he gets crippled in place. Sets you up for a different ability. Sets up any teammates who are with you. At max rank, it hits the support, the jungle, and the mid laner that is like they're all grouped up together for whatever reason. All three of them, boom, crippled, etc. Sets you up, sets up your team. That's pretty decent. All right, so as you can see, at max rank, it does 260 damage at the bat, and it roots for 1.75 seconds. Not bad. And you can see right there in the blue, which is usually 0, because I don't have any items at this point, but because all 4 of these abilities are max rank, I have 80 magical power, so essentially I have an item. So it does 260 plus 75% of your magical power. Since I have 80, it's 60 magical power. Just math there. So without any items, you're doing 320 damage here. That's, that's pretty damn good. And your magical power is going to be a lot higher than 80. So you could potentially have 500 a pop if you hit someone with Sickum right here. That's not bad. Plus you root them and cripple in place. That's pretty damn good. They can't do anything. And they can't move. Excuse me. Here 2. It's Crush. This is your main wave clear ability. And also your pretty decent team fight ability. It is a ground target. Area of effect. A big circle will appear with a radius of 20 units. And she creates a magical field that slows enemies. After 5 seconds, it detonates and causes damage. Alright, that's cool. You can also activate the ability early to make it detonate instead of waiting the 5 seconds. I mean, so you'll see this a lot. A Scylla, someone playing a Scylla, will throw it out and then pop it as soon as it lands. Because really, you wait the 5 seconds, if there's any god in there who's intelligent or played the game enough, they'll know to get the hell out of that circle within the 5 seconds. Minions, it doesn't matter. Minions are going to do what minions do. You can wait the 5 seconds if you want. At max rank, enemies in the area also have their magical protections reduced. And targets hit are slowed for additional 1 second. Okay. Hell? So you lose 25% at max rank of the magical protections. That's pretty cool. That sets your guardian up if you have another mage in the jungle or something. Yeah, okay. Plus it's 310 plus 80% of your magical power. It's a 64. And then there's a 30% slow for an additional a second or something. What? So let me recap this here. If you don't pop the ability or detonate it right away, for 5 seconds, they're slowed for 30%. So you can be auto-attacking, doing whatever within that circle. So you could use it as a slow for your teammates to go poop on them. Most people detonate it before that happens. Say you don't detonate it, and you have to have it max rank, you get another second on there, it's slowed. And say you just detonate it, and it slows them for a second. So, okay, you get at least 1 second at max rank of 30% slow. That's pretty damn good. Plus it does a lot of damage. 80% of your magical power is pretty damn good for an ability. So again, these extra, not including the passive, which adds 20 magical power for each max rank you gain. Which if you look at the passive down, I believe it's right here, down there, right between my relics and my health bar, that's fully green, right? When you start the game, that's not empty. That's not green, it's empty. So each ability you max rank, that little bar will fill up. So it's got 3 possible slots in the bar, and then the gem itself is the 4th slot. So again, more of a late game god, because each of these abilities that you get max ranked gets an additional effect added onto it. So she becomes that much more potent. Early game, she's not as strong. Late game, powerhouse. Okay? Moving on to her 3, it's Sentinel. It's a ward / leap. Okay? Now, this is important. It's considered a leap. So when you go against in the Wheelix, for example, they can pluck you with their ult when you use this. The short leap, so that Wheelix has to be ready for it and anticipating that you're going to use this ability. So be careful. That being said, this doesn't have an extra. I think the passive is what she gains at max rank. And she gains MP5. Okay. No, because you get it at every rank. So I don't understand. Oh, okay, never mind. It says it in the freaking description. Go me. Alright, so it has a passive. It's not a damaging ability. It has a passive of MP5. Cool. Which means you don't necessarily need to get Chronos Pendant with her. Which we'll go into once we go over the items. She summons a Sentinel to whatever area she wants it to. So, your cursor, send it out, sends a Sentinel, which is pretty much one of her dogs, for 5 seconds. It grants her some vision, and if she activates the ability within the 5 seconds, she leaps, or pretty much goes underground, to the location where the Sentinel was. At max rank, the vision is granted through line of sight blockers. So it becomes a ward, essentially. And the placement range increases. So she gets a little bit of a mini ward now and then. I use this mostly as an escape. Or to chase down. But mostly an escape. There's no, additional magical power thing. It's kind of just a leap, essentially, that doesn't do any damage, but grants you a ward and some MP5. Not too bad. Not too bad. Now for her ultimate. I'm a monster. And she literally says, I'm a monster, when she goes into this ultimate. It's a ground target. It's got a decent range. There is somewhat of a delay from when you hit the trigger for kind of a wind-up and then a snap down to where she's attacking. She reveals her true nature, becoming crowd control or CC immune for the next 6 seconds. This can also be used defensively to get the hell out of dodge. So essentially, sorry, cracking my neck, an additional set of purification relic. She gains movement speed, and she can make a powerful attack during this time, which will hit for 800 damage, plus an additional 120% of her magical power, hence the 96, plus 96. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. If you have over 100 magical power, you're pretty close to 1,000 a pop. If they don't have any magic defense, etc. That this could hit. Okay? But wait. At max rank, the movement speed doubles. Okay, that's cool. That's not the wait. If she kills an enemy god with that powerful attack, it resets. This is how people will get pentakills with Scylla, or one way. So, say you're going to, it's late game, you have an opportunity, you go in your ult, I'm a monster, and you pounce, and you hit a god, and it kills them. Well, it resets, and you're back up in I'm a monster form, and you kill another god. Essentially, you can do I'm a monster 5 times. Because after every god kill, it resets. Those 5 gods. The 5th time you're really not going to have anything to hit because every god's dead. You decided everybody. Pentakilled them. Bitches. So, this does a lot of damage. You need to watch out for this late game. Because this could shit in your cereal for real. And the team comp is just right. The enemy team, if they have a Scylla, yeah, deicide every time, potentially. Late game God does a lot of power. 120% additional magical power damage. That's a lot. Considering she almost does 1,000 alone with this at max rank. So, that being said, let's go into the relics. Now, with every time I start this, especially with the relics, it's situational. What the hell do I mean by that? Well, I mean, depending on the team comp you're going against, your team comp, what your team chooses for relics, things may change. Now, obviously, Purification is usually one of the standard ones if you're going against the god that has CC, like Ares, Ymir, Kumbhakarna, etc. If you're going against another Scylla, you might want Purification because of Sikkim. Sikkim will set up Scylla and her teammates pretty damn good, especially on max rank. So, Purification is usually one of the standard ones to go by. If for some reason you don't need Purification, you can go with a Sprint or Meditation. If you're going Assault, usually Meditation is always your first one. We're going to drop Purification this time. And then the second one could be Sanctuary, depending against who. You got a Vulcan, they got a Nuwa, an ETH even. It'll just make you, immune to damage. It's up in the air. Frenzy I usually only choose if I'm a hunter or an assassin. So you can go with a Sprint. You need to get the hell out of dodge. I'm just gonna go. I'll go Sanctuary. This, because depending on how you guys are doing in the Conquest match, casual or ranked, the jungler or guardian, whoever, she is a squishy, so the Sanctuary might save her ass at some point. So, these are the two relics I would usually go for. So I know this says starter, but for a starter item, you can go Vampiric Shroud, which isn't bad. The magical power gives you health and gives you MP5. Plus, it restores some stuff when you kill an enemy, kill some minions and stuff. But she kind of has, passive MP5 in her 3. So you don't really need the MP5. Right? So, a lot of people are doing now what's in the quote-unquote meta. And where's the start items? Here we go. Is Soulstone. It gives you the same amount of magical power. I think it gives you mana instead of health, which, a mage always needs mana. I mean, it's their whole kit is based on mana pretty much. They're not doing physical attacks for the most part. So hitting an enemy with a basic attack tears out and stores a portion of their soul, granting +4 MP5. Okay, so you get the MP5 here too. So this is essentially, you got Vampiric Shroud here, which gives you so all we're really flopping here so far is instead of getting 100 health, we're getting 100 mana. Okay? At 5 souls, your next damaging ability consumes all of the souls and deals an extra 60 magical damage. Early game, that's pretty decent. Because you just throw 5 basic attacks and then throw out an ability, you just did 60 magical damage plus what on top of whatever you started with. That's pretty damn good. That is why people are using this now as a starter item, because it does a lot of damage early. So this is what we're going to grab for your starter. Let me get this. For the win. So what do people go next? Well, again, with the meta, a lot of people are going with the Soulstone. It does 40 magical power, gives you mana, some more MP5. She has some in there. The Soulstone's giving her some, so this wasn't hard to get. It's fairly cheap. Okay? And you gain 2 magical power per stack, and receive 5 stacks per god kill. So the standard stacking up to 50 stacks. Okay. So you can have what? 100 magical power? Yeah. Okay. That's cool, right? But this is why I don't choose this item. You lose half your stacks upon death. I, as a rule of thumb, generally don't buy any item where you're going to lose the stacks that you had when you die. Because more times than not, I'm with randoms. And randoms, more times than not, don't always act or react the way you would if you were with people you knew, or the way you would generally act or react. So there are going to be opportunities for the enemy to kill you, and you can get steamrolled early. So you could be essentially wasting $2,000 on an item you're not really going to ever get the full potential from because you're getting pooped on by the enemy team. So because of that, I generally just skip this item. People will rush this. I don't use it. Your prerogative. You fine. You're rolling with 4 other of your friends. You guys are cohesive. You know what the hell you're doing. You're confident in your jungle. You're confident in the rotations of your support. You can rush, do more, and get that freaking stacks up there and just shit on their cereal. Or you could get shit on yourself. So I just bypass. I don't use do more. People will say, wait, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Hey, you should really try. I tried. No. I can't. It relies too much on your teammates to cover your ass, essentially. And hell, I mean, you could have a good team, and the enemy team is just better. And again, you're just wasting your money. So I skip it. Leave a comment below if you think I should really try it. If you want to try it, go for it. It's in the meta. People do it. That's why I'm mentioning it here, even though I don't use it. So, anyway, tangent, digress, boom, bam. Next item would be the Shoes of the Magi. Big shock, right? It gives you the magical power, it gives you penetration, and it gives you the movement speed. Not a big surprise there. For the next item, core item, we're going to go, it's not in this one here, Book of Thoth. Right? Now this gives you 125 mana, more MP5, which is always great, and 100 magical power. Plus you gain 10 mana per stack, and 3% of your mana is then converted into magical power. Okay? So that's why we go with this one instead of like Warlock Sash or something. That's pretty damn good. So you're going to have, let's see, 10 mana times 75, so it's 750 mana. 3% of that is, I can't freaking do math. You get a decent amount of shit from this, alright? So you start your stacks at this point. You want your stackable item fairly early. You could go do more here if you wanted. You could go Warlock Sash. I generally go Book of Thoth because it gives you that extra 3% in magical power. So after this core bit, this is where you could. This is kind of early because it depends on your game, your style of play, how things are going. You can change this up. If you're getting shit on, I would go Bancrofts here, right next to us, because it gives you lifesteal. If you're doing okay, you're relying on potions pretty good, not really getting hit that hard, then I would go get some more penetration. People are probably building some defense at this point, or your enemy support is starting to rotate. It's getting toward the middle, again, the laning phase is kind of ending, potentially. So, it gives you 70 magical power, and 33% of that, or you gain 33% penetration. That's pretty damn good. You know? 70 magical power. Now see, this is a good example. Alright? Your passive gives you 80 magical power, which is greater magical power than this item right here.
That'll work.
So, that being said, again, situational. You could change any of these up. You could fit other things in if you want. You could double stack and fit Warlock Sash in here too, instead of the penetration. But this item build should be your standard build. Try it out. Wiggle some things around if you don't like it. Excuse me. Because honestly, you're relying on this build to get you to the late game. Because late game, again, is where you're going to be doing a lot of your damage. Your next item is going to be Rada Tahuti. There's another 125 magical power. As you can see here, we're really stacking the magical power. Plus MP5. So, you know, we're going to have magical power up the ass, and then we're going to have mana regen up the ass. Okay? This also increases your magical power by 25%. So, from this item alone, you're gaining an additional 30, plus magical power. Not including all the magical power you have before this. So we are becoming a heavy hitter now at this point. So what the hell? Why stop there, right? We are gonna go over here to Soul Reaver. Another 100 magical power. Bam! Right? 300 mana. No MP5. That's okay. We've got freaking plus 55, essentially, mana per 5 seconds. That's, what, 11 mana a second that you're regenning? That's not too bad. It's the passive of this item that makes it such a heavy hitter. Such a good item. Now, I think it gets tweaked in the next patch in 3.11, but I still think it does the same amount of damage, maybe different intervals. That being said, when a god takes damage from your abilities, they take 15% of their maximum health in additional damage. If multiple gods are hit, the damage is applied to the one with the greatest maximum health. This can only occur once every 60 seconds. What the hell does that mean? Well, you do an additional 15% when you hit him with your 2, when you hit him with their alt. You can even just sick him, and it would do an additional 15%. Now you hit your Guardian, he's doing 15%. You hit the mage, it's 15%. So that number will change depending on how much health they have. Okay? So say you have your Guardian, their support, their carry, their jungle. You have the entire enemy team. The Guardian's probably going to get hit because they had the most health with the Soul Reaver. So one-on-one, the Soul Reaver is a little more controllable. You've got like a Zeus in your lane with you, and you hit him with your 1 or your 2, and you do a 15% damage on top of the crazy amount of damage you're probably doing at this point. Big, heavy hitter. People love it. People eat it up. Nah. Kobayashi. Alright, so if you haven't sold this already, but you don't really need it by this point, you could probably sell it to get Rada Tahuti, etc. Sell it. You know, it's your starter item. You don't need it anymore. You gotta finish off with another heavy hitter. And one of the more expensive items probably in your kit. 3,800 gold. Spear of Desolation. Alright, gives you another 120 magical power. Yup. Another 20 magical penetration. Okay. If you kill an enemy god, all of your cooldowns are reduced by 8 seconds. This can only activate once every 30 seconds. So you kill somebody, and you knock off 8 seconds off of all your abilities. You kill 3 people, you knock off 24 seconds off of all your abilities. Okay, well, over a minute and a half, obviously. It only applies once every 30 seconds, as I just said. But you get where I'm coming from there. Plus, it's 120 magical power. That's a lot of magical power. So just to see how much magical power she has at this point, it is... Where are you? Power. Okay. You can have a max of 900 magical power. That is the cap. With these abilities and her passive, she is at 869 magical power. She is almost capped out on magical power. She is almost hitting the max amount she can hit with her abilities and her basic attacks. Late game, she is a friggin' beast. Which is ironic because she has dogs living under her dress. Okay, dramatic pause. Over. Alright, so... Wow. Alright, and then where's the penetration? 30 out of 50, not too bad. You know, her MP5 is over halfway capped, you know. Her pen's over halfway capped, so she's doing pretty good. Alright? This is why she says a heavy hitter. This kit, I mean this item build, will do a lot of damage late game. Just gotta make it there. Gotta be careful early to mid game of the enemy team. If they're aggressive, you gotta have to play a little passive, more passive, etc. Build stacks, etc., etc. So, next part we're going into is combos in battle scenarios or fight scenarios, or whatever. So, here she is moving around. She's pretty quick. Well, she seems pretty quick. Alright. Let's go over here to our trusty Odin. Let's just hit him with a few basics. 253. Straight off the bat. Basic attacks. Alright, granted, he probably doesn't have any items at all. You know, and no magical defense or anything. But if you're hitting for 253 a pop, alright? 5 of those hits essentially could be half of them. I mean, I've only got 1725. Do more than half of the health of the enemy god. They're squishy. Alright? So that's not too bad. So let's go with our one here. As you can see, it's a line. See the dogs. And we'll throw them out. And crippled, rooted, and it did some damage. Alright? We're going to go with her too. You can see here, it's got the nice little dog emblem showing and everything. And it's a pretty big radius. So we're going to throw that down. And you can see we can let it sit there for 5 seconds. I'm not going to detonate it. I'm just going to let you see it for 5 seconds. And it did 1,000. 1,000. It's probably half. Again, probably no items here, so penetration and shit, so. Alright, her 3, we're gonna go over here. We'll put it anywhere. So, if I put it in there, check on the, well, there's no mini map, and then I can leap to it, okay? And then her ultimate is the I'm a monster. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna kind of go with the combos here. So, to do the most amount of burst damage, you're going to want to do some combos in order to set up for your ultimate. Now, you can do your 1, and then your 2, and then ult. Try to hit them all at once. You can do your 1 and ult, and then maybe clean up with your 2 if it doesn't kill them. Or you can ult, just... if you have an Ares on your team, he's pulling them in all in together. They don't have beads or purification, whatever you want to call them, anymore. And you just ult whoever's in the middle. Neza, that's a combo. Neza Scylla. Neza goes up, does her friggin' slap acid in the air, comes back down, and you ult them. So I'm just gonna go easy, roots, hit with the ult, then throw the 2 down to see if we get it, if we have time. So I'm a monster. Hit. Boom. Throw this down and detonate it. Boom. That is going to be your burst damage. Now, in a match, you know, you say this, the minions are coming down. You can slow a minion down potentially with that. So we'll throw this out and pop it. Boom. And then, oh shit, you're getting hit. Oh. Boom, out. Escape. Try to go on the upside of the wall so they can't reach you that easily. Like you're on this side of a buff or the fire giant or something, and they turn on you. You sentinel the hell out of there. So that's pretty much it. That is pretty much the item. I mean the combos. You know, throw that down, hit that, boom, pop, boom. You know, I mean, see, I just did a lot of freaking damage there, and I didn't even have any stacks yet. See, where's the Gold Fury? Where's the damn Gold Fury? Here. Try to alter Gold Fury here. So we'll show you this again. You know, you can throw you just throw this down. We'll see how much it does. Ready? Boom! I mean, you're clearing shit like crazy late game. It's ridiculous. All right, so we're gonna finish this up here. Got 9 seconds. We're gonna go to the Gold Fury here, and we're gonna. All right, this is the ring right here. Okay. Right there. Right there. 3 abilities, essentially, and an auto, and I just took out the Gold Fury. That's how much damage she does. It's kind of crazy, right? So see the ring right there? It kind of showed you how much time you have. So you could go. You can. There's no limit to how far you could potentially leap back. So I think right there. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. Trying to wrap this up before we hit the 40-minute mark. Sometimes I babble on. I apologize. If you lasted this long, thank you very much. I hope this helped you. Hope this refreshed you, helped you learn the God from new. And as always, please subscribe. I'm going to try to pump these out once a week. Hit a thumbs up if you like the channel, if it helped out. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. Or if you want to see a specific God, leave a comment down here or on Twitter. And we'll try to fit that in the rotation. Next is, I think, a warrior. Next is a warrior. I think I might go Amaterasu. We'll see how I feel next week. And if there's any requests, etc. That being said, you can catch me live on Twitch at @ArousingThem_Inc. On Twitter as well, as you can see over right here. Right there, that's the Twitter handle. All of them pretty much are @RousingThem_Inc. for Rousing Incorporated. So, yeah, we're going to finish this out now. Have a good night. I really appreciate everyone who's come and watched these videos. They're doing a lot better than I anticipated. And I'm going to try to actually fit some matches in here in the future. Things are being hectic. And, yeah, so anyway, have a good night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.